The minute you arrive at the Siren Studios in Hollywood, California for the Southwest Regional Barista Competition, you can feel the excitement in the air. You are greeted by the smell of fresh roasting coffee beans before you even walk in the door. All your senses are on high alert that something great is about to happen. This generation has taken the old art of making the perfect cup of coffee and turned it into a contemporary art form. The baristas of today have shot the coffee industry with more than espresso. They bring an enthusiasm and a new look to the industry, down to the pots they design to brew it in. The old come to encourage the new, like Johnny, who goes to every barista competition all over the world. Hi, and we're with?
I'm Gianni Casatini. I'm working for Nuovo Simonelli, espresso machine, sponsored for the World Barista competition.
It's a great machine. Tell us about the machine and how you started going to the competitions.
Oh, we started that is our 30 years. Our manufacturer was incorporated in 1936. So we've been a lot of years behind our shoulders in that experience. We started 3 years ago. That is our 30 year, sponsored the World Barista competition. As a company, we are very honored to participate in this coffee industry.
Do you go to every competition across the world?
Yes, I do every regional. I have another two to go, two regional, one is St. Louis and the other one is in New York. And then I'm going for the final in Houston, Texas.
In Texas?
Yes.
Do you also go, do they have an international one too?
Yes, every time it's a World Barista. Last year I was in London. Actually, last year Mike Phillips he became the World Barista in America. I was so proud for him, to be the World Barista company. Next year it's going to be in Colombia, Bogota.
You going?
Of course.
The event is split between two rooms. One is for the water brewing competition, and the other's for the barista competition. And we're with?
Marcus Bonney from the Specialty Coffee Association.
And he is so sweet. He's going to take us around, show us what this is and where we're at, and help me out here.
Give you the guided tour, absolutely. Well,
All right.
We're starting in Studio 1 here, which is home to the United States Barista Championship Brewers Cup, which is a competition that focuses on manual brewing as a coffee brewing method, too. You're going to see a lot of folks up here that are kind of going back to basics with coffee. You're seeing they're using some old techniques as far as what we call pour-over coffee service, where they actually let they have the water. They brew the water themselves, they heat up the water, and then they take it over the grounds of the coffee and let the coffee drip through into the cup then, too.
So then they don't use any machines at all?
No.
It's all, you want to show us?
Yeah, absolutely. The only machines that we use are actually to heat the water, and of course the grinders to grind the coffee then as well, too. You can see actually right here, Eaton is doing a pour-over method using, looks like a V60, no? Wait. Thank you. Melita, you said, right? Galitas. Perfect. 3 holes in the bottom so you can see how it's actually extracting all the way through. And his method right now of him pouring the water is very exact to the profile that he's trying to achieve.
I never realized that brewing water was anything but brewing water. I was wrong. It's a science and it's a passion of many. The brewing competition begins. The brewing is precise and is judged not only for how the water is poured, but also for the presentation. Unlike the baristas, they don't have music playing, and the room is silently watching and judging. This is the final day of the brewing and the barista competitions. Each finalist picks their own music for the barista competition and choreographs the routine down to the last note, bowing with the presentation of their cup to the judges. They have a 15-minute race against the clock. Everyone has their own story on how they prepare for the competition. We're back in the competitors' room, and this is Eden from Georgia.
Yes, I'm from Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay.
I work at Element Coffee Company there.
Do you? And what did you do with this competition? What did you create?
I came to compete out of region for this competition. What we do is we have our regionals throughout the country, and I was able to come to this regional, even though I do not live here, and compete for 4 judges score, like full judges scoring, and get feedback and learn a little bit more from what I'm doing.
How
how do you even go about it? I mean, you know, how did you decide to become a barista? How did you like come to compete? You know, this is foreign to me, so you know.
I kind of fell into it. I got a job in a coffee shop because I was interested in it, and it's a fire that gets you going. Like, it's a very cyclical thing. You get caught up in it, and I love it. It's really my passion.
Well, it's like an art. I mean, it's
It
truly,
truly
like
is.
an art. So what did you do? What did you show the judges?
For this competition, I've been taking 2 different coffees. I've been showcasing these 2 single origins on their own, and then I'm blending them together to show how 2 strong single origins are purposely picked to design a blend.
So when you do this competition, is it more about the blend? Is it about the presentation? Is it about
It's
how
all
you
about
present
everything.
it?
It's technical, sensory, how you're talking, how you're presenting, you're communicating your message.
So then how do you decide what you want to do? In other words, you go, okay, I'm going to go to the barista competition.
Yeah.
I'm going to
A
be
lot
great.
of-
What am I doing?
A lot of trial and error, a lot of talking to other people, and pretty much you find what you think is being talked about in the barista community. You think about what needs to be talked about in the barista community. You think about what's excelling in the coffee community, and you pick a topic and you run with it, and you gotta portray your message.
Hi, this is Nick. He's showing me how to do a
Hello.
facial.
Yeah, facial. A cup facial.
So what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm just polishing right now. So before you get on stage, sorry, that's my phone. Before you get on stage, you really want to make sure that everything is clean and shiny and presentable. You know, we're trying to take coffee from maybe a casual drink, something that's sort of cheap, and upgrade it, bring it to a culinary level. So that comes down to glassware, that comes down to presentation, and I mean our equipment, and everything needs to be beautiful and taste good and look good.
So that's a big part of it. The
Huge part.
presentation is just as
Absolutely.
important as the taste, do you think? or-
Absolutely, just like how when you open a bottle of wine, if there's a nice label on it, maybe it's hand dipped in wax, they've already elevated their product. And presentation's a lot. I mean, it goes a long way. How you talk to someone, how you dress, these things matter.
Everyone wants to be the next superstar barista, like Michael Phillips.
This is Michael Phillips. He is the superstar of baristas. He's a celebrity. He's cute. So tell us all about how did you become the superstar of baristas?
I don't know if I'd say superstar. There's a healthy cast of talented baristas here, but I got to my current spot just by working hard, having some really good support. I work for an amazing roaster called Intelligentsia Coffee and Tea. Barista competitions they're a huge part based on the quality of the barista, but they're also really about the support team they have, you know, and the coffee they're working with. So that was a big chunk of it. That's some really great people buying, sourcing, roasting coffee for me.
Well, how did you get into competing? How does it start? How do you decide you're going to compete and then rise up through the ranks?
I think for most really good competitors, it starts with being obsessive compulsive about organizing their sock drawer in their early teens, and then if they're really on top of things like that and they just can't stand things out of order and they're into precision and being very structured, then eventually they fall in love with coffee and they apply that same sort of dedication and passion to that. You know, so you've
if you
got
like socks, you're going to like
yes,
coffee.
it's gonna tie in. Well, it helps.
It's the habit of just
it starts
doing
by just getting really into what you're doing and caring about it to a level that maybe some people don't understand, but like you get to the point where you just keep asking questions about each step in the process of, you know, how the coffee's sourced, how it's roasted, how you're preparing it, and then, you know, you see someone else doing these competitions and you're like, wow, this is an opportunity to really push the boundaries, to figure out what's next in coffee, to have feedback from a really well-accredited panel of judges, and have an opportunity to essentially develop your skill set in a way that standard work in a shop doesn't offer.
The best of the West are beginning the final leg of the barista competition. The air is electric, and the audience is filled with family, friends, co-workers, and coffee lovers. The music is an example of the times and fills the air with a youthful energy. The judges are ready, and the coffees are created with everything from freshly picked and roasted beans to adding fruits and chocolates. The plates are artistically arranged and served to the judges with great pride. The place smells wonderful. It's a coffee lover's heaven. Shh, Michael Phillips is about to announce the winner. Chris Baca from Verve wins the Brewers Cup. Pete Licata of Honolulu Coffee Company wins as the best barista. We're at the end of our 3-day competition, and our winner, Pete Licata, along with the other regional winners, are really lucky because they get to go to Brazil and compete in one of the largest barista competitions in the world. This is Mindy Rosario from My Favorite Cup, and I can't wait to see who wins next year.